about last time. There are so many references made in the Bible about our body being the temple of the Almighty, that is the Holy One. Apparently the Holy One is the indwelling Spirit. So when we go to 1 Corinthians chapter 3 verse 16, we are told that, or we are asked whether we don't know whether we are the temples of God, which means we have to be conscious of the fact that we are temples of God. And it goes on in Corinthians again, that is 1 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 19 also says something concerning the temple and we human beings. Then when we come to when we get to another area in Corinthians, that is 2 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 16, it also tells us about us having connection with God in our temple. And apparently the temple we have is where we are supposed to communicate with God, because Jesus Christ told us that anytime we want to pray, we should get into ourselves, close all the channels that can distract us, and then communicate with God. So apparently our body is the temple, and the temple is still on the process of being built. It is not complete. So the higher ones are with us, God himself being the chief architect and his ministers with us, helping us to build our temple day by day, by our actions, by what we do, and by our interactions with our fellow men. It is observed that the things we do, the good ones, are like pearls that we use in beautifying our temple, and we must make sure we always live a life that will help us to build a temple, an everlasting temple that is full of light, because God himself is light, and we are in him. We move in him, and we have our being in him. So if we are learning to become like him, then it means we must do our best to become good lights, not the one that is not perceived. In the lecture, we are told that we are masons. Yes, masons are builders, and we are young masons, and we are learning how to build our own temple, because we are told in the lecture that we should all learn how to build our own temple. Nobody will build our temple for us but we ourselves, and we must learn to do that by good moral living, by good service rendered to our fellow men, by learning how to live good life that will enhance the growth of the Spirit. We are told that if we don't do things right, it hampers the growth of the Spirit. And in actual fact, if we do evil, it creates a discord in the system. Not your own alone, but in the system of others around you. But you are the one who created it, so you are the one who get affected the most. So we must learn how to live in harmony, in unison with our fellow men, so that our lives will be clean and pure. We are told that we must learn to eat the right kind of food. If we eat the right kind of food, it enhances the growth of our spirit. And it's not because the food is called food, so you put it in. You must be sure you put the right kind of food which vibrates properly with your body into your system, so that it will not be a poison into your system. We are also told that we must learn how to make sure, even if we don't have the right kind of materials we need to help build our body, we must find something almost to that level that will help us grow. And I should say that is basically what the lecture was talking about, how we build our temple, what we should do in our lives to be able to build our temple so that we are able to have the next vehicle will be able to function in when we get to the next level of our evolution. With this, I think I'll come down and leave the floor to the chairman to talk to the house. When we say holy, it means it is clean, it is pure, and it is perfect. And that is what we are aiming at. We say temple of God, but if it is getting closer to God, then we say holy temple. That is what I can say. And if we say holy temple, then there can be a temple which is not holy and a temple which is not unholy, which means we can have a temple which is neutral. Then we can also have a temple which is infested with a lot of unholy things. Let me put it that way. Then what do I mean by that? We are all presently, most of us, neutral, because we can't say that we are holy. We are neutral. We are neither positive nor negative. So I'll say that we are neutral. But the moment you start living your life in such a way that it is negative to your own system, then you are living an unholy life. For example, we know alcohol is not good for the system. Your level presently is neutral. You know alcohol is not good. You know telling lies is not good. You know being jealous is not good. You know that all the negative things spoken about in Galatians chapter 5 verse 19 are all being practiced by you. Then you are making your temple unholy. And if your temple is unholy, then how does your own spirit even find it comfortable to dwell in it? I hope you are getting my point. So definitely we have some of us who are so negative that all the evil things we can think of are practiced by them. And we have some of us also trying to elevate ourselves, making ourselves get closer to God. And that is what there is about it. Please, if anybody has anything to add, the person can come forward and say something. Thank you. The operation there is negative, then definitely you can't call it holy. Because, like the reference made to the artillery place, if the person is operating on a positive channel, you can't say that it is negative. It is sin. It is you get there and then they are not doing any evil thing. So you can't say that that person is unholy. Only the level of development is different from maybe what you are doing here. That is how I perceive it. So the good or the bad depends upon the operation being carried out by the people in that temple. That's how I see it.
That is true. Because they do good over there. They know that they don't do any good. They do good. And there are laws. There are laws that ought to be followed. Once you are keeping to the law, they consider themselves as holy, which cannot be debated. Because they have hurt people in many ways. But the point here is,
are you developing yourself?
Are you developing yourself, or you are doing it through something else? I agree with what you have said. If you look at the outside structure, buildings, and the things that are done over there, we talk about that of the cathedral in Rome and other places. There are laws, there are rituals that they need to follow. Once you are following those rituals, they consider it to be what? Holy. That is it. So, in terms of the old tradition and how holiness is ascribed, that is different from the new tradition. You see? So, in the New Testament, those who say they are Christians, those of us who say we are Christians, our approach to holiness is defined, which is different from the old tradition. At the initial stages, killing animals and the rest is allowed. As I said, it depends on the person's level of spiritual knowledge and practice. So, to those people, if you say they are not holy, then you are going to create a big problem. Because so long as they are abiding by the laws of the old tradition, they are holy. Except when they shift to the new tradition, that is and cannot be described as holy. If you look at the new tradition, the New Testament, but the old one, they are holy. Because the external entities, you call them angels and Jesus, they are also external entities who are helping the people to develop spiritually. At the point in time, they will move to the new tradition. So for now, there's nothing wrong if they claim to be holy, and we also see our New Testament as the holy one.
Some of them are even weird than we are. My brother, 3 minutes.
Thank you, Chairman. My topic was, are we pioneers of the current age? And, you know, March, April 2010, philosophy lesson to us. The last one paragraph. The last by one paragraph. The first line says, as we take on the work as pioneers of the current age, I did not continue the rest of the sentences. So I put here, are we pioneers of the current age? Because the paragraph, the sentence here concludes that we are pioneers. Say, are we to take on the work as pioneers of the current age? So I want to find out actually whether we are pioneers. That was the topic. And the treatment was, you know, for us to be pioneers of the age that is yet to come. We are not in Christian age. Then we should be able to have done the work of that belongs to the Christian age before we can now strive. We are now aspiring to do the work of the next age, and therefore we can become pioneers. But if we haven't even done the work that belongs to this age where we are now, then how can we be pioneers of the age that is to come? That was the question, and that was the treatment. And the age we are in now is called Christian age. And the work of the Christian age is to build the soul body. Okay? You see, we say we are pioneers because we have got the information about what pertains to that age. But the information is not all that we need. In the east room of the tabernacle, when we are there, we are struggling to build the soul body, not because we need it or have information. And when Christ comes today, with the information, we cannot fly to the east to meet him. You can have 1,000 information, you will still be here. So the necessary thing is to build the somebody which belongs to the Christian age. And after all, the somebody has got life. The moment we build the somebody, we have life when we enter the west room. Okay? We have sight, spiritual sight, we belong to the current age. So my argument was that we should do the work of the Christian age, we should achieve that work before we can say we are aspiring to do the work of the current age, we can be pioneers. That was my last argument. And I quoted November, December philosophy lesson to probationers. It has summarized what I was trying to say. And what he said is that he said the Rosicrucian fellowship is definitely an apparent movement, which means it is the religion that belongs to the apparent age. I said, as such, its members are children of light and definitely strongly under the Uranian vibration. Two things that is said. The members of the Christian fellowship are children of light. We will have the soul body, because the soul body is the light of the spirit. Okay? So first of all, we should try to build the soul body, not just to be content, to be happy that we have information pertaining to what will happen in the current age. We should try to do the work that is very necessary, that is needful, not just information. And somewhere under Uranus vibration, Uranus ruled the gold in the golden wedding garment, the soul body. That gold is ruled by Uranus. Okay? And therefore we should try to develop that gold within our own being. If you have the information and you haven't developed the gold, you cannot be a pioneer. To speak the truth. So I want that to not try to be complacent or have the information of what will happen in the current age without doing what actually is needed to be the pioneers. I am that. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Please take your seat.
Thank you.
Let me start the discussion by
Thank you very much, Brother Ivan, for once again drawing our attention that in this Christian age, if we really want to be pioneers from the Aquarian age, we need to build the soul body.
100%. Yes.
That is what I think.
100%.
All right. Are there indications for a person to know that he or she is building the soul body? Are there indications? Are there some signs, some signals to let the person become aware that indeed, practically, I'm building the soul body? I want to know if there are.
Good, thank you. Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, the questioner, Samuel Boko. Yes, definitely there should be indication, there should be signals, there should be certain things that will indicate that we are building the soul body. And when we have built the soul body, that one nobody will even tell you that you have built it or not, because you can go unconsciously and interact with higher beings. But when you are building the soul body, but you have not yet completed building it, you know, all confused beings cease. Okay? That's number one. All confused beings cease. So when you dream, it's clear. You can even during the daytime check, maybe you dream and went to some place. During the daytime, you can even check and see that it is actual. Actual place, you can see what you saw during the dream. It is clear. Perfect. Okay?
If you say the dream is clear,
that is when you dream about something, that's exactly what it is, and you can cross-check it during the daytime. Okay? You know, dreams are of various degrees. You can dream and maybe that is bamboo dream. You chop places bamboo and you go and you are dreaming of food. You are dreaming of things, okay? So you don't even know, you don't even remember the full dream. You remember back and back, you don't remember. Okay? It's a congestion with a lot of things you cannot even explain. So once you are building the soul body, when you are in the process of building the soul body, but not yet completed, your dreams are very clear. Okay? And you can travel during your nocturnal visit to flight, to certain places. You can cross-check it during the time and see that the information you had in the dream is accurate. Okay? The cardinal point or cardinal signal that you can have. But once it's completed, as I said, that one nobody will tell you, because you yourself, you can come out of the body consciously and interact with higher beings. And so you know you have built somebody. After you have built it, that one you know 100%.
2 weeks ago, we looked at the tabernacle in the wilderness, the temple, the cross, and the rose course. Now, what is the connection? What links all of them? Of course, it is clear from what we talked about that the tabernacle in the wilderness, though it was done physically, is only symbolic. It is symbolic in terms of the past, the present, and the future, and what humanity needs to do to build the soul body. And what cuts across all of them, as Brother Alpha asked last week, is the issue of initiation. To come out of the body consciously. While the tabernacle in the wilderness, to some extent, talks about the only ways of initiation, how people come out of the body through inducement and whatever. They still serving God, no two ways about it. But compared to the cross, that is where the difference begins to show. That we are moving from involuntary to voluntary, where Christ taught us how to carry our own cross. And we try to have some understanding of what we mean by the cross in that presentation. And as was defined, we try to relate it to the human body that the spirit is using to liquidate its past wrongs that it committed and to build the soul body. That is how we try to identify what we mean by the cross. And then we talk about the rose cross, where we talk about the one who is purposefully, who is conscious of his or her spiritual nature and wants to unfold the spiritual sentence. Follow the narrow path, doing that which is right, like vegetarianism, killing, trying to avoid alcoholism and all that, to make the body pure. And we also talk about it in terms of here, the cross, where yes, the nails are that we need to remove. That is how we look at the one who is following the path of the rose cross. He is beyond or above the mass who profess Christianity. I'm not saying they are wrong, they are right, but that is their way of doing it. But there is also the narrow path that the one who is going by the rose cross perceives. And then last week we looked at what is the connection actually between, not the connection, but how does the tabernacle in the wilderness foreshadows the cross? How does it give us some idea, some impression about the cross? And we look at it from various angles, not only in terms of the definition, but we also look at it in terms of what they represent, the symbols in there, but not into details, what they represent. And then the outlay itself, how is it like the tabernacle, and then that of the cross. And eventually we ended with a lot of argument once again about how should we look at the cross. Is it horizontal or is it upright? When we talk about it in the past as the tabernacle in the wilderness. So let me end it here in terms of summary. And let's see. I still have my question actually. Yeah, let's ask last week. I didn't ask. I think we are under-emphasizing it. Yes. So on. That is the crux of the matter. That is the crux of the matter.
That's it.
Nothing again.
Yes.
Our job is to build the soul body. The whole Bible stands on that.
Yes.
To build the soul body. That is the job of humanity. Except that when it comes to having the information, it took many years, and we are very privileged to have that information now. If we don't build the soul body, we should just forget it.
Correct.
The job of humanity is to build the soul body.
Finish.
When you build the full soul body, that is when you can go through the other processes. Because the first phase to come out of the body makes you more or less an issue.
Correct.
You are able to operate in the world of Christ, the ethos, and as well as the physical here. So if you want to be with Christ, the first thing is to operate in the ethos and beyond, not the physical. And the job of humanity is to follow Christ. Is it not so? Yeah. So what other job there is again? Except that we don't even have the awareness that there is something called soul body. Many people don't know this. That there is something called soul body.
They know they have other names.
They don't.
They have other names for it.
Don't forget we have other schools.
Whether names or what, it is so something we need. German, somebody is what we need to do.
This is what we need to be drawing so that even that concept of soul body begins to ring in the minds of people.
Yes. What is
When
it?
we talk about the spiritual body, ask the Orthodox Christian, what is the spiritual body? They have no idea.
What the spiritual body?
The spiritual body is in the Bible. I know, but they can never tell you that it is the extract from the using of the physical body. They can never tell you that. It is because we haven't publicized the teachings enough for people to know that there is a soul body. It's progressive. It's progressive. Some people say it is gradual. But it depends more or less on the individual. Once you are here, you have to define for yourself whether you want to be quick in getting the result or you want to go slow. Why would you want to be quick? There is nothing wrong if you are quick because you want to be a pioneer. You want to be a pioneer. But
Yes.
But if you want to go gradually, at least nobody is going to stop you. But what is cardinal is the information.
Yes.
It is conquering the lower desires, the anger, the evil thoughts, the insult, the deception. Those are the things when we eliminate them, help us to build the soul body.
Even concentration and reflection, how many people are able to do?
Yeah, those are spiritual exercises. But the key thing is, let us conquer our lower desires. But it doesn't mean we say we are going to conquer our lower desires. So all of a sudden we have conquered them in a day. No, it's a whole life journey. But finding your own self within the generality, that one you must do it yourself. Nobody is going to do it for you.
So on that note,
Instead,
let me take the advantage of being the chairman to ask one question. Is it possible that a soul body that has been nurtured, moved, is it possible that something can happen? Is it possible that you can backslide? And at a certain point, that soul body will be gone.
To lose it. To lose it.
You understand my question?
Yeah, to lose it.
This man has been his soul body. You know he has been. Then he backslide somehow, and the soul body is gone.
So to lose the soul body, that might not be the case. To lose it because you work for it and you have it. But certain things you will not be able to do because you haven't built on it. But losing that soul body is not something you can do, except you have changed yourself into an evildoer.
Which means you can lose it.
Yeah, when you go into black magic and all that,
you can lose it.
It is possible.
Okay.
That you reverse whatever you have done.
Chairman,
My brother,
the two higher eaters, light and reflecting eaters, they are migratory. Okay? If you haven't built them to become a soul body, you can lose them. One day are not yet a soul body. But the moment you build soul body complete, you cannot lose the soul body. Even if you do things, you cannot lose the soul body.
you will not go.
The gift of God is without repentance. That's what the Bible tells us. The gift of God is without repentance. One God has given you the chance to build the soul body. God doesn't repent by causing it to lose it. But if you haven't built a soul body, the individual eaters, the two higher eaters, if you do bad, they can evaporate. You can lose them.
that's exactly what I was trying to say.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, my brothers. And this is